Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review, and today we're looking at the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Razor Crest. So apparently this is number 20 in the line. I didn't realize that these were numbered on the packaging, but yeah, number 20, part of Series 1, and it is the launch edition. Again, I think there is a different version of this one from a list I saw online that might have different coloring, but I'm just gonna not confirm any of that because I don't know. It's still new. It's still kind of appearing. You can find them on Target's website now. You can find them on Amazon, which there will be a link in the description if you want to pick up your own of this one. But anyways, the Razor Crest here does come with 3 little 1-inch figures, just like the Millennium Falcon. This time it includes the Mandalorian, Grief Karga, and Grogu. Just like the ones we looked at yesterday, these guys do have a good amount of sculpted detail, which is really nice to see, especially in this scale. Paint application is pretty good. A few things lacking here and there, but for the most part, not bad at all. Grogu does come with a stand, and let's just take a quick closer look at each figure. So for the Mandalorian himself, my only real issue here is that his brown suit in the wrong light looks a little bit burgundy. Here it does look a lot more brown. I think it's because I have all the lights on and everything, but when I was looking at him earlier, it was really burgundy. Really reminded me of Lord Zed for some reason. But yeah, not a lot of color detail throughout. It's just silver and brown throughout the body, and then the boots being a little bit of a tan color. He does have his jetpack and his cape to the side, which does unplug and plug in. He can sit in the seat in the Razor Crest with or without the cape, though the cape does tend to pop off a little bit easy. Just gonna put that out there right now, and I do wish that they had painted in the visor black, because it definitely looks off. I'm gonna see if I can actually get that with like a toothpick or something and paint that, because yeah, it doesn't look right without the black in there. Other than that, articulation is what we expect. Both arms move up and down, and both legs move forward and back independently. Getting him to stand, a little bit difficult. If you have the backpack on, he keeps wanting to fall backwards because it does weigh him back, so you have to kind of lean him forward. As for Grief Karga, he is in his Season 2 kind of, I was going to say uniform, but yeah, his Season 2 getup, I guess. It does look really good. I do love that they have all this like little tiny detail throughout the body and everything. They got his little mustache in there pretty good, I think. You know, it is gray. You know, you can tell it's him. Arms, again, move just like Leia and Obi-Wan. His feet move together because he's wearing kind of a long coat. I was going to say a skirt, but no, it's a long coat. Just going to let those fall where they are. And then we do have Grogu, who does come with a nice stand. Has a little bit of detail under, which they really didn't need to add, but looks good enough. You can see him in there. Tiny, green in his little thing. Not really much detail on the pod itself. Does have the lining and everything, but paintwork inside, nothing. Does pop off like that, so you can pop it on to the Razor Crest. So taking a quick closer look at the Razor Crest itself, the detail on it looks really good. A lot of panel lining throughout the body and everything, throughout the shell of the ship. Everything on it looks, well, like the Razor Crest. Again, I'm not an expert on these ships. I'm not going to have everything memorized in my head or have photos to say like, okay, this is off and this is off. But from just, you know, my point of view, it looks really good. And this is probably the best consumer-friendly Razor Crest that we have. By that I mean that the HasLab one is a little bit too expensive if you want to get into the aftermarket. There is the Mission Fleet one that is very toyish. It looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it definitely has its gimmicks and stuff, so it has that toy look. Even if you paint it up and everything, there is still kind of that essence of, yeah, it's still meant for younger kids and not older collectors. Though I was tempted to buy it at one point, not gonna lie on that. But aside from that, there is a Hot Wheel that I did a review on a while ago. Looks really good, but it was kind of like one solid color more or less. The detail was all right. It's good for what it is, but for the price difference between that and this at $30, I think this is definitely the clear winner. Now, a few things I will mention right now is that it is a very lightweight. It feels kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. Feels like if I drop this from a good height, it will crack and break. Feels hollow, which it is. It technically is hollow on the inside, so I can't really fault them on that. The Falcon definitely felt heavier, but to be fair, that thing does have batteries and electronics in it, so there is that. I do feel like the price point on it should be $20. That's just my opinion. But yeah, let's just take a quick closer look. A few things I wanted to note is the black wash on it. I feel like it's a little light. I feel like there should be a little bit more of a black wash. There's some places where it definitely didn't get into, and then some places where it looks like it was running and pulling, and I'm not a fan of that. I feel like whatever machine, I'm assuming machine or person did this, they didn't do that great of a job. But not something, you know, I can't fix myself, just something I wish that was done in the factory. It does have its landing gear down here. This one doesn't have any visible screws like the Falcon, which is nice. So it's more of a, I wouldn't say solid shell because you can definitely see where it's put together, but it has that more like illusion of it being a solid shell. One thing you can do is open and lower the landing gear like so, which is really nice. We do have all the legal stuff right here, the printed ID number there, and more legal stuff right there in case anyone is wondering. Aside from that, we do have the guns painted a nice silver, which I kind of wish that the whole body was painted that silver. I feel like it should be a little bit shinier. I don't know, I may be wrong, but I swear it looked a little bit shinier on screen to me. Again, could be wrong. We can open the cockpit right here, where we have 3 seats, 1 in the front and 2 in the back. And to get Grogu in there, like I mentioned, you just pop him off of his little stand. And then it's a little difficult, I'm not going to lie, especially for people who have bigger hands. I can see this, you know, being a problem. Grab Grogu by his head is the easiest way, and then kind of just get it in there and just feel around for the little peg, which from this angle is definitely a lot harder than it should be. But yeah, you can kind of get it in there, line it up, and then just push it down, and there we have Grogu in the back seats. We can get Mando in there. Like I said, he can wear his jetpack in the seat. I will say though that it kind of goes down a good ways in there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but yeah, it seeps down in there, which is good for his feet and all, but then he kind of tends to kind of just want to slide in, kind of like that. So it's not the most annoying thing, but it is something to be aware of. Now, you can see they look really good, but once Grogu is in there, I don't really know if he'll be able to get somebody else to sit back there. You might. I haven't tried it. The biggest issue, honestly, when it comes to this is you can take Mando out, no problem. But getting Grogu out, getting a good grip on him, it's a little difficult, which is where the stand comes in, because you can just put it in there, slide it under the pod, and kind of just pull up, and that gets you Grogu out of the back seats, more or less. Yeah, so just some advice for people who get him in there and want to take him out and can't use this as kind of leverage to just unplug him. Wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were meant to do, but there's no instructions, so just wanted to point that out. And yeah, closes and opens really nice, won't just open randomly. There's no snapping, but yeah, like I said, joint on it is really good. So, features. We can take the cover off right here and they have the engine exposed, which is really nice, but there is no black wash in there. There is detail on the inside of this and a little bit of a wash, but yeah, it's really clean in there. Not like they painted it or anything. I guess they forgot about it when they were doing the painting. I mean, there's like a little bit right there, but I feel like that's just probably bled through when they were painting the rest of it. But yeah, you can take that, expose it. Can't do the same to the other side. I feel like everything is more or less located on the left here, because we can open the hatch right here, so you can walk up the ramp and everything, and you can see his guns in there. A little bit difficult with the lighting, but if we need more lights, what we can do is slide this back, grab it from back here, and then pull up. Then we can get this top piece off, and we can get a better look inside the ship, which, again, we have his weapon rack right there. We have this little thing that opens and closes. You can put his jetpack in there if you want. We do have Frozen and Carbonite, somebody down there. Slides back and forward, which is cool. Some more panel lining, some more detail. If I'm remembering correctly, I remember in the mystery boxes you can get Mando in his speeder bike, which you can park in here, which is really nice. So I kind of want to get one of those. Haven't seen any of the mystery boxes though yet, so there is that. You can push that down, or you can pull it from the little lever back here. But we do get the back ramp that comes down all the way, and everything comes down really nice, more than it needs to. So there is that. And then, although you're supposed to be able to get this from here, I haven't been able to do it myself, so every time I open it, I just kind of pop it from this angle, and we can get that side of the ship down, and get another closer look inside, which, again, sorry, the lighting is a little bit difficult to do here, but there is some netting in there. You can kind of see that a little bit better, and yeah, it's definitely a lot of detail for a small ship. I think they definitely did a good job kind of getting away with as much as they could, because it would have been so easy for them not to include, let's say, this panel popping off, maybe just the front and the back here. This one coming off, okay, I can see that, you know, you want to be able to look inside. The engine part popping off, I can see them, you know, not having to have done that either. So I do feel like Jazwares did a great job molding the inside, detailing it. Is it one-to-one accurate? No. Once again, the cockpit, just like in the Falcon, is definitely too small if we're talking, you know, actual accuracy. The seats are way too close to each other. We can't even see the door that should be there. It's just not to scale. But that is, again, just because of the figures themselves. They would have to be definitely maybe half the size. And even then, I don't know if that would be accurate. But yeah, they would have to be like a little bit smaller to actually be accurate with the interior of the ship so that everything can fit perfectly, which would make it, you know, more difficult to handle. Or they could have made the ship bigger, but then it would have cost us more money. So it's a pretty good compromise in my opinion. But that's just me. It is what it is. I'm okay with it because it's not too big of a deal. So for a quick size comparison, here we have the Millennium Falcon from the same line with the Razor Crest itself. And you can see that the size difference isn't too big, but it's definitely noticeable. The Razor Crest is smaller. It is taller and everything, but yeah, it's definitely, you know, two different size ships. I'm actually surprised of how much taller this is from the Falcon, but they look really good together. I'm really liking this line. I'm definitely going to be picking up a lot more from what I can tell and what I'm actually liking so far. Again, really cheap plasticky feeling. Be careful, don't let it fall from somewhere high. This one feels a little bit more solid, but again, this one is technically hollow on the inside, and this one is a lot more full, so it's understandable in that sense. And for a quick figure comparison, here are both crews side by side, so you can see the height differences between everybody, which is nice that they are doing a, you know, consistent scale. They're not all just the same size, they're not all the same height. Leia is shorter than everybody else, Chewbacca is taller than everybody here. Mando is a pretty good height, but still a little bit shorter than Grief Karga, surprisingly. Han Solo a little bit shorter, Obi-Wan just a little bit shorter than Mando. So it is nice to see a variation in height, not just, you know, we're getting, you know, different size figures and everything, but we are getting accurate scale body-wise for the figures as well, which is awesome. So would I recommend this set? I absolutely would. For $30, I think it's still a little too expensive. $20 to $25 would feel a little bit better, but for what you get and for what the features are and being able to open the ship up and everything, having the landing gear that retracts, the paint work, the detail on the figures, having the ability to put them in there, and knowing that this is probably the best Razor Crest that we have on the market that isn't the HasLab, yes, I would 100% recommend this if you're a Mandalorian fan. If you have someone who loves Razor Crest and wants it, this is definitely a good gift. Probably not for younger people because, you know, choking hazards and everything like that. But for a somewhat older kid, it is definitely something really nice. A great way to build up a fleet of ships from Star Wars. And I'm honestly really liking this line. And it is something that kids will definitely have fun playing with. Just make sure that they're careful and not dropping it because, again, it does feel a little cheap. Not super cheap, like it would break really easy, but enough that a good fall might crack it. It's just the reality of it is, it's plastic. Would be nice if there were some die-cast parts in it to kind of keep it together a little bit more, but there isn't. Which is a little surprising because looking at it, you think it looks so premium and it looks so good, but it's plastic. That's not a bad thing because it means that it looks really nice. Just, I wish it was a little bit more solid. All in all, I do think it is a good buy, and I definitely recommend it, and I'm happy I got it. I was a little bit hesitant to pick it up, but here it is, and I'm honestly liking this line more and more. I still don't think I'm going to be full on in and get everything that comes out, but I might pick up most, if not all, of Series 1 just to see, you know, how everything is. And I'll decide then if I want to go in with everything. I might skip out on a few ships. I don't have to get everything, obviously. I'm not one of those type of collectors who has to buy every single figure in the line, unless it's the Halo line. And in that case, I'm kind of getting to that point. But for this, I'm definitely going to be picking and choosing on a few things. I'm sure there's going to be some ships that I'm going to look at and I'm going to be like, do I really need that? And then probably later on, I'll be like, dang, I should have got it. So who knows? But anyways, that's my review for the Star Wars Micro Galaxy Razor Crest. Again, recommend it. Definitely awesome. Definitely the best Razor Crest we have in retail right now. So pick it up if you're a fan, if it's something you're interested in. Yeah, I definitely recommend it. And yeah, hopefully I'll have more of these to review soon. We'll see how it goes. Haven't been able to find any in my area. Had to order both of these on Amazon. But yeah, the fact that they're in stock on Amazon after release day, that's a good sign. At least in the availability. So hopefully once they hit my area, they'll be easier to get. I do have some other thoughts on the line. Not so positive, but I'll save that for another video. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.